What up? Hey. Hey, Shay. Hey, Slim J. What's up, Jeezy? What's up, Kenyatta? Hey, Angel Butterfly. See y'all. Come on in here. Hey, sexy people. Hey, beautiful people. What's up, Queen? I see you. What's happening, y'all? Yo, cuz. What up, Brucey? I see you. Hey, beautiful people. Hi. Peace, Queen. Peace to you. Love the shades. Thank you so much. These shades are my brother Marcus Divine. Follow the Heat Miser. He's a awesome musician and MD, and he also designs really cool shades. They're some of my favorite because they lightweight. They don't feel all heavy. They feel super lightweight. So you guys, I wanted to jump on live and say hello to my people and hope that you guys are having, what is this, Throwback Thursday? Honey Mark, Brucey said hello. He said, hey. She said, can you mentor me, please? Oh my goodness. You know what? Why don't you do me a favor and send an email to, if you go to brownstoneofficial.com, you can sign up on the website and just put in the subject line, mentor from IG. And what I'll do is I'll figure out if there's a way. My schedule is crazy, but whenever somebody reaches out and asks a direct question like that, we're going to figure something out. So I'm working my butt off, and I'm going to attempt to do what I can. So just send me an email. Send it to, log on to brownstoneofficial.com, and there's a space for you to send in an inquiry and just say in the subject line, mentoring from IG, or mentor question from IG. And I'll make sure that our team pulls that together and sees what we can do, even if it's a Zoom here and there. Okay? So that is, I am Michael Dion. Okay, Michael. Absolutely. Look. Ask. That's it. Ask. And aside from that, I have been thinking about, I was talking to the team about, us doing something a little more private. So, yeah, just shoot me a DM. I hope y'all are having a great Thursday, preparing for a really awesome weekend. Running some errands with my husband, had a great workout, did a little leg day. So my legs are very, very sore, but I feel like I got it in today. I did the elliptical, y'all. And my husband has been telling me forever, because I was just somebody who just got on the treadmill, and I'd be like, I was on the treadmill for 45 minutes. He's like, you got to work other muscles. You got to figure out how to, and that's what's going to reshape your body. And sure enough, I've been doing other workouts, this bicycle, this elliptical, and like really working on my quads and my hamstrings. And it's just been improving my overall shape. Got a long way to go, but I'm on the right path. So, y'all, I wanted to just bop in here and tell you I'm going to do live tonight. I want to talk about the young woman who, I want to unpack the young woman who was allegedly, because again, we don't know all the facts. What'd you say, Ray? The young woman who was allegedly beaten to death by her friends. I have so much that I want to say about that, but I'm trying to be careful about jumping to conclusions without having more information. I think we do that so much in our community. We hear something, we heard it through the grapevine, and we run with it, and we don't realize the impact that it has on people's lives. So without a doubt, if in fact she was beaten to death by her friends, which is, why the FBI, thank God, is getting involved, so we can really find out if that was in fact the case. It is horrible, god-awful, horrific, and they deserve to be thrown under the jail, because the mean girl, bad bee mentality has just gone entirely too far. I think that it is really sad and unfortunate when we have so many other people working against us as black people, black women in particular. We talk about how unprotected we are, right? But we can't even go on a vacation, a time where we're supposed to be celebrating and peaceful and self-care and love and happy. and actually have a good time? How do you go on a vacation to another country and get so angry and so hostile that you feel like you have to beat somebody up, right? And exactly, Michael, they obviously weren't her friends, but let's talk about that as well. Let's talk about what it is that happens in our community that makes us feel that we have to choose people that we either don't know well enough or that we know ain't necessarily celebrating us. It's a lot of people that are gonna clap for your demise, and obviously that's the people she was hanging around. If those people did something as awful as break her neck and her back, again, allegedly, we don't know the facts. We see videos circulating, and like we often do when we see clips and pieces of a story or pieces of a headline, like that bullshit headline about Tiffany Cross that a certain blog posted. I'm really disappointed that we have to look up and see that certain blogs, I'm sorry, y'all, if I look like I'm distracted, I'm just trying to, tell my husband to slow down. Certain blogs will report information about us without having the facts and without having the story. So there's this headline, and the headline says one thing, but when you dig into the story and you wait for the facts and you wait for the information, you discover that what the headline said is not actually what occurred, right? So I just encourage us all to be informed and slow to pull the trigger on judgment, because Black people need each other. We are so divided right now. We're divided in terms of women and men. We're divided in terms of, people who think that we aunties and we judging younger demographics, millennials and Gen Zers and Gen X and all that other stuff. We have to get it together and realize that at the end of the day, we are all viewed pretty much as one in the culture, even though many of us don't engage in the stereotypes and the BS that we see on a regular basis. But what we fail to realize is that, as I say every time I get on live, and I know that I'm beginning to sound like a broken record, but I don't care, because somebody who wasn't on that live is on this one. When we go out in public and we go on vacations and we go into restaurants and we get on airplanes, we are representing our entire community. As much as you might think because you can afford to fly first class and somebody else is back there in coach, or because you can afford something better off the menu and we're still the same. Our skin color is the same. The way we are viewed as a collective, as a culture, as a unit is the same. So we should all make a conscious effort to keep that in mind when we're in these places, because it doesn't make it easier for us when we get out here and we see people judging us and making harsh comments and treating everybody like we're just, thoughts and criminals and mean girls and angry Black women and angry Black men. And, so I know I get on my soapbox and I preach about it, but hell, somebody's got to talk about it, right? I remember back in the day, we honored our elders and our veterans and the people who are in our communities who have been there, done that. You know how your aunts and your older cousins used to say, I wish I was your age and know what I know now? I'm going to hit y'all with that. The reason why I'm not y'all's age, but still know what I know now, the reason why I shared this information with you all is because I can't turn back the hands of time and become your age again and relive my life and change some of the mistakes and the decisions that I made. But what I can do is I can encourage and I can educate and I can enlighten, because there are places that I've been, there are things that I've seen, there are situations I've been in and out of that many people have not. Those are my unique, specific experiences. And if I can share that with our community and it informs somebody, or it gives somebody something to lean on when they're faced with a similar situation, because it won't be the same. It's just how you navigate adversity and how you navigate trauma. We're always figuring out how to navigate trauma in the Black community, because everybody wants to lean into their own shit, and not think about how they can just leverage the lessons that they've learned as a result of the shit that they've been through by educating and informing and sharing, right? That's the reason why people, some people may think I overshare. Some people may think I get on live and I just kind of go into my rant and I talk too much and I say, listen, I want to get as much information that I have, because what good does it it do me. My husband always say, look, better to do that than die with the truth in you at the end of the day. Like, what are you going to do? Hold on to it, just keep it to yourself and not share it with people who could benefit from the knowledge and the experiences that you had. And I'm not claiming that I have more knowledge than or better knowledge than. These are my experiences. And as a whole, what my experiences have been as somebody who's been in this industry for a long time. You guys, the sun is shining, so I can't see your comments. I'm not ignoring them. As a whole, I've learned the one common denominator, even though my experiences are different than, say, another person who's been in the business as long as I have, right? But the one common denominator in all of us in the entertainment industry and in business, you know, is that Black people don't value ownership the way we should. Now, I didn't say desire ownership, because we all desire ownership. But when you put value, the proper value on the opportunity to own something, you realize that it is not always attached to fame and popularity and immediate money and revenue. And it might not even be attached directly to you. It may be something that becomes generational, where what you're setting up in terms of ownership is for the next generation or the next group of leaders that comes through. We don't understand that ownership is about owning the seed, planting it, and being patient and faithful enough to not sit there and try to watch it grow and wait for it to yield whatever it is that you're waiting for, but to move away from it and into whatever it takes to cultivate it that doesn't require you to just sit there and watch and wait and then see it's not happening soon enough, so you give in. And I think that's what happens in our community too often. We're waiting for something. We want to watch the fruit of our effort grow before us. And real ownership and generational legacy and generational wellness is about planting seeds that will benefit future generations. That's just what it's all about, right? And that's the reason why ownership as a collective and as a whole is so important. And once you get to a place in your life and career where you have ownership of something as a result of the seeds that the people who came before you sowed, right? Follow me, y'all. No, it might feel like I'm on, but when you get to the place where you see that you have ownership of your intellectual properties, your real estate, whatever it is, understand that ownership did not come without the seeds that were planted by those who did not directly benefit from that ownership and that sacrifice to plant those seeds. But I almost lost my thought with this East Coast driving husband I got. But respect that the sacrifices that were made by those who came before us and press the issue of the evolution of our community, you know, us getting to a place where we can be multi-millionaires and hugely successful and have our own studios and have our own teams and have our own shit. That came at the sacrifice of someone who was not sitting there waiting for it to happen in their lifetime, but planting the seed because they knew the generations after them would benefit from it. And as a community, as a collective, as a whole, we would grow. There have to be people like that in our community in order for us to survive and thrive. And right now, there are too many people out here who are concerned about their bag, who are concerned about their fame, who are concerned about their, illusion, the vapor of just being the bad bitch and, doing whatever the hell they got to do to make it or whatever. And they're doing nothing but adding to the negative impact of the exploitation of trauma, Black trauma in particular, on our community, period. So all this to say, and y'all know, I know when I start having these conversations, the algorithms don't like it because, you say it, But all this to say, I'm going live tonight, and what I want to unpack is, are we, and by we, I mean those of us with the platforms, with the influence, with the resources, are we doing enough for our community to really help shape the future, to really plant seeds for future generations? Do we care enough to leave money that does not serve us as a group on the table. I do. I have many times. My question is, how many other people in that position are prepared to do that? Because that's the real question. Because the community is making you who you are. The community is contributing greatly to your success. So how are we serving that community? Because we got girls getting beat to death, allegedly, in hotel rooms. And everybody's so shocked. And everybody's posting a say her name meme. And everybody's saying, oh, you know, that's a shame. What's that? But we watch that shit every single day on television. And at any point, any person in reality TV that ever had a fist fight, any person who on social, anybody who's fighting and watching the fight and running to see the fight could have broke their neck or broke their back or ended up like this, unfortunately, like this young lady did on her vacation. So the outrage over the friends that were the enemies and the snakes, we perpetuate those stereotypes every single day in television and in media. Every day we see the snakes. Every day we see the friends stabbing each other in the back. Every day we see the tables flipping and the drinks are throwing and you know what I'm saying? We see that dumb shit every single day. So why are we so shocked? As horrible as it is, when we hear about a young woman losing her life and getting her neck and her back broke because she was with some bad bitches. Like, we gotta start thinking about how our decisions and the checks that we taking and the jobs that we taking and the fame that we searching for and all this other shit, we gotta start thinking about how that negatively impacts our community. How now all of a sudden the thing to be is a bad bitch. And don't hit me with the, oh, they should know better and it's the mamas and it's just entertainment and blip, 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 blip. Y'all stop. No other community. We talk about these other communities and what they're doing. And I'm going to get off because I got to save some for my live tonight. Worth.tv, you guys, please tune in. But food for thought. Other people, other cultures, other communities, we don't see those TV shows and those movies and those series and those reality. We don't see that shit happening every single day in those communities. It doesn't happen. Name 10. Because it's 78 of ours. Like, it doesn't make sense. Obviously, the same way you don't find the snacks, the hood snacks, when you go to the suburbs. It's just we consume all of the garbage and all of the trash. And then we get mad when what we've consumed starts to consume our community. Like, we mad, we appalled, like, oh my God, I cannot believe this shit actually happened. I'm sick of it, you guys. And that's why I waited to respond to this situation with the young lady who was killed allegedly by her friends. Because the hypocrisy of it all is just, I'm so done with it. Like, if you're sitting up and endorsing that behavior anywhere else in your community, then you should just be quiet about what happened over here. That's just my opinion. And I know I'm probably pissing people off and some folks might have some shit to say about what I have to say about it. But we can't, on the one hand, cheer it on, watch it. Oh my God, did you see how she read her for filth? Oh, did you see when she slapped her? Oh, she such beat her ass. Like, it happens on Zeus every day. And I said because I respect that a black man owns the network, and ownership is a really important thing. And if anybody's going to benefit from it. But now I'm starting to really just question and wonder, like, really? Like, is there any hope for our young women when you have narratives and images that perpetuate this stereotype every single day? And now we got girls getting killed by their friends. We got girls out here like, it's bananas. When does it stop? When do we take full and complete responsibility for the decisions that we make that help lead to the exploitation of the trauma in our community? Like, we have to just stop. We have to just unplug from the bullshit. We can't complain about what other people are doing to us if we are doing the same thing and worse because it's coming from us to ourselves and each other. Okay, tonight we're going to break. We're going to unpack it. If you want to join the conversation, shoot me a DM or, again, brownstoneofficial.com. You know, hey, want to join in on the conversation. But we're going to talk about it tonight because I'm tired of all the fake outrage in our community whenever there's a tragedy. And the reason I call it fake outrage is because if you haven't been advocating consistently for better images and narratives in our community, if you haven't been respecting that, see, Dolores Tucker tried to have this conversation 30 years ago about where we are today with black men in hip hop losing their lives. And if you don't see that mean girls and bad bitches and strippers and twerkers and all that other shit is not leading us anywhere good fast, you're not looking at what's really happening. You're delusional. Or you just don't get a flying frog leg. Okay. So yeah, it's just been a lot of ranting and venting here lately because I'm just tired of it. It's just so fake to act like you really care if you're not taking the active steps to help empower your community and you're engaging in the exploitation of the trauma. And the way that you engage in the exploitation of black trauma is by tuning in and watching it, by letting the numbers get so high that they're going to continue to give us more and more and more and more black trauma. If you want it to stop, then you have to support people, organizations, stories, businesses, ownership that is lifting us up. Because if you think that your career, and this is to all the people who ain't speaking up about what's going on in this toxic ass entertainment industry, because they think by not speaking up it's going to gain them something. If you think that your career is going to be bigger, better, more amplified or high profile than Prince, Michael Jackson, Kanye West, all the people that's really telling y'all about what this shit really is, if you think you got a shot at being bigger than them, then you keep being delusional and you keep living in that world. But if you realize that the top of the food chain is telling us that something is spoiled in the fucking milk. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I apologize for the profanity, but y'all feel me. If somebody is telling you the top of the food chain is something spoiled in the milk, then you need to be active. And if you're not active, then you're a part of those who are participating in the exploitation of black trauma. Tonight, WIRF.TV, go to WIRFmedia.com. People want to know why I fight for ownership so much. It is because it is the only way. They don't want to hear it. Y'all don't understand how serious it is for me to even be saying it to you. Ownership is the only way. All right? Come hang out with me. Nights with Nikki. Probably about 8:30. And we going to go tonight. And I want to hear from y'all. I'm going to try to listen, because I really want some solutions. Sorry I can't see any of y'all's comments. Hopefully everything was positive. If it was some bullshit, I'm going to find you and block your ass. But for the most part, all love. And I'm sure some of my sorors are on here. Yep. I'll see y'all tonight. Nights with Nikki. Peace.